For the past few years, some Dorchester residents living near the Fairmount Indigo line have been contending with a problem, a bridge to nowhere. The pedestrian footbridge at Bird Street and Ceylon Street was built in the 1980s. When the bridge fell into disrepair, residents tried to have it fixed, only to see it closed. It's been that way for more than 2 years. Our guest is one of the concerned residents trying to get the problem solved, Santiago Rivera. Thank you very much for being with us, Santiago.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, can you remember when this bridge was walkable? Did you use it a lot yourself?
So I did. Up to 2013 it was open until we started doing some work and we reported it to the city, some elected officials, and they maybe about a few weeks later they shut it down.
Well, this is a bridge that's just a couple of blocks from the main intersection in Upham's Corner at Dudley Street and Columbia Road. So you're living, let's say, if you're on the more like the Roxbury side, around Magnolia Street,
yeah.
and you want to get to the Columbia Road side, how important is that to people?
So that's one of the main issues. It's basically blocking access to the Upham's Corner district. We have a lot of residents who visit the Upham's Corner Health Center, the Walgreens to pick up their medications. They also
well, there's a library there too.
There's a library, the Bird Street Community Center. A lot of students usually, they go down there. But right now, it's been difficult for them to actually travel.
Well, you have been involved in trying to do something about this for quite a while. What does this go back to? At least 2013, 14, or?
So yeah, in 2013 we brought it up just because, like I was mentioning, I seen a young girl walking up there late night. It was pitch black. It looked just horrible. So I decided to put it on Facebook. We made some, contacts to MBTA. But yeah, it's up to today. I mean, we're still fighting for it. We're trying to get it open. And the main concern is the access to the Upham's Corner district.
Well, one of the other concerns you have right now is that you've got this vacuum and it's being filled by some things that are rather scary. You talk about the needles that you saw.
All right, so a few days ago we noticed that, well actually it was about a week ago, we noticed that some of the fences were ripped throughout the entire street.
And these are fences supposed to keep people away from the railroad tracks.
Exactly, that's the purpose, just to make sure no one has access to the tracks, the commuter rail tracks. So we actually went in there with a few neighbors the other day, and we, we're walking down a little further down, and we found over 15 needles just spread out everywhere. So another concern that we have is, God forbid someone gets high in there and just passes out, they can get killed by the tracks. And that's something we want to avoid. We don't want to wait until a tragic situation happens to then.
Well, if you get holes that are big enough for the drug users to fit through, people smaller than that might also fit through them. Yeah,
so children are exposed to that area. And this is why we're focusing so much on not only on spreading it on Facebook, but contacting the proper people so we can actually get some good attention to it. Because it's not just about, some people might see it as just a bridge, just something that's closed, but there's a lot of issues that come with it. And that's something that we feel is serious for us.
Well, speaking of issues, there's a tug of war going on here, whether the MBTA is responsible or the city is responsible. And no one seems to be winning.
No, so I was surprised about it because when we contacted them, at that time in 2013, Carlos Enriquez was helping us.
He was the state rep at the time.
He was a state rep, yeah. So, a few weeks into the conversation, he's telling me, hey, no one wants to own up to the bridge. Everyone's, we call the city's saying the MBTA owns it. We're calling MBTA. The city owns it. So it was a back and forth that we had going on. But as of right now, the MBTA owns it. As of right now, so that's what we're focusing on, putting the pressure to get some repairs. At a minimum, get it repaired, at least cover the holes, and then we can look forward to actually getting it opened.
Now, in a perfect world, all you have to do is press your 311 app, and the city takes care of it. What about that?
So, with all honesty, we did that about a week ago. I just passed by the overpass today. The needles are still there.
All right, so if that doesn't work, you call the city councilor and the state rep. How's that going for you?
So the state rep has been working on it for some time. He's also struggling. I also want to thank City Councilor Frank Baker because he actually went out there yesterday with his aide, and he actually, and that was just, I contacted him about 2 days ago through email, and they responded really quick. They actually went out there and took a look, and they're contacting MBTA right now to get a crew out there to actually clean up the place. And he actually requested some signatures that I have. I have about, we collected over 100 signatures of people just right there in the neighborhood who really want this, some attention to it. Not only cleaned up, but actually accessible, so we can go and travel from our side to the Upham's Corner side and make it a little easier for residents to move.
Now, when I was looking at one of the stories about this a couple of years ago, I think there was someone who said that if they were to fix this or even put up a new bridge, it would have to be accessible to people with disabilities. In other words, it would have to have ramps, and then it's going to cost more money. Is it worth that?
Honestly, I think so, because we're not only talking about, it's not just a bridge. It's actually an access to a thriving district. Upham's Corner is being invested a lot. If you can swing by, you can see new streets, new pavement, different businesses. They opened up a new Boston Pizza and Grill. So, if we don't make it accessible to everyone in the community, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt us as well. So
if you want to get people involved in this, because I'm sure there's more than 100 people who care.
Of course,
about this,
yeah. So we have, you can follow me on Facebook. It's Leon Rivera, and I have everything public. It was suggested that I, edit my privacy to just show everyone what we're doing and what we're working on. And email me. We can talk about it. I can link up with other residents as well that are fighting for the same thing too.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Santiago Rivera. We'll have more news in just a moment.